How is everybody today? You back? We here. I'm the home office entrepreneur. My name is Kion Church, and what we do on our channel is we introduce the most special people that we know that are really hardworking hustlers. You know, the guys that are putting it together from the top to the bottom. Got a very special guest today. I want to introduce y'all to. Now, before I let him do any talking, I'm gonna just let y'all know I know this guy like for real. You know what I mean? This dude, he been in my life at least 30 years, you know what I mean? And he been through a lot. And y'all really gonna enjoy his story today. You really gonna enjoy his story today. Stu's been through a lot. Not only that, like once we get into it, you're gonna find out how much of a key player to this thing is that we're talking about today. He invented a special app that's good to help people like everyday citizens like me and you know what I mean, stay protected when law enforcement comes around and basically teaches people how to handle themselves with this new awesome AI technology. So I don't really want to steal his story, but I would like to introduce you to him. His name is Malachi DeBruce. Mr. Malachi, how you doing today?
Hey, how's it going there, brother? How's it going? Thanks for the wonderful introduction, man, and the many words of encouragement, man. Keeps my fire lit. Um, hey, man, it's a beautiful thing, a beautiful day. We're above ground and we're living, and as you so aptly put together, we have been a part of each other's lives for over 3 decades, man. And I don't know
Yeah,
how many.
over 3 decades. I want to tell you age, man. I mean, I want to tell you your
I
age. I
think
mean,
it's closer to 4 decades, but I'm gonna leave that out there. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, it's a pleasure to be on. It's a pleasure to come on and have the opportunity to speak to your following and put some information out here about what's going to be happening and how we're going to revolutionize uh, the illegal world as we know it.
that's what's up. Special shout out to Tasha Monet. She said Malachi and KC in the building. She said dynamic duo, baby. Can't get no better than that. You mind if I ask you a few questions?
No, absolutely.
All right, I got a little list for you, man, because we need to know everything. Why don't you give us your backstory? Basically tell us what gives you a vested, what gives us a vested interest in your journey so far.
Wow. So
You know, I'm
let me
sorry.
tell you. Yeah,
Uh,
I tell you, man, I love to dig into this, man, because
right.
my story is what I tell everybody is a story of deliverance. And you know what I mean? It's a difference to me between people who have come from what I've come from and so, quote unquote, have recovered from those things or they've been delivered. And the difference being is people that are delivered have a whole nother pathway that life is providing for them, man. And I feel that I'm one of those people. But for me, general guy, man, born and raised right in Wilmington, Delaware, for a long time, up till I was 13 years old, and pretty, normal family. Came out to Newcastle, in my teen years, and there had always been some problems with me interacting with my peers and things of that nature. I just kind of was trying to find out where I fit in. Fast frame to young adulthood, 18 years old. I'm on the front page of the local, locked up for multiple felonies, robberies, and things of that nature, stemming from what essentially was a fight. And that fight was, unfortunately, between two different races of people. And if anybody knows anything about Delaware at that time, this was something that took place in front of Collins Park, which was a very racist place. And so, the police in turn took what was essentially a fight between teens and escalated it to 4 robberies, 4 possessions of deadly weapons during the commission of a felony, and the alleged robbery was for a starter jacket. That was when the trajectory of my life totally changed. You talk about a kid that went from being a backup dancer for rap groups and and having a really good time and as a teen being in prison overnight,
Mm.
and not understanding, the nuances of everything that I was getting myself into. At the end of it all I heard was, "You can go home if you sign this piece of paper." And I
Mm.
signed what was the death blow to my adult life. I signed a plea bargain for a robbery second and a conspiracy third, and I was therefore blacklisted we're talking about early 90s. So it was, unthinkable for a person to have a felony back in those days and try to succeed in society. Jobs wasn't going to hire me. Nobody, you looked at as an unwanted person in society. And as a result, I leaned heavily on alcohol, and alcohol morphed into illicit drug use. And that illicit drug use brought with it every conceivable crime that you can think of thereafter. And I spent the majority of my adult life in and out of prison, serving time. But every time I was in prison, I was known as the smart dude, or the guy who knew the law, always educated. And so, finally, when I decided that enough was enough, Criminal Offenders Legal, the first legal support company full-fledged in the nation, was born to kind of step in between the criminal justice system and individuals who didn't know anything about the law, or who couldn't afford attorneys. Being a member of the American Bar Association's paralegal section, I've been able to come in, get people out of prison that's been in 20, 30 years, save people from making mistakes and taking pleas, and, just overall give of myself and give of my passion so that people wouldn't repeat some of the mistakes that I had to go through. And here we are today looking at, working as a legal support specialist, working in post-conviction. I've noticed that there's a lot of instances where people are being searched illegally. People are being harassed by police. People are being gunned down by police. And there's no way to actually prove this, because now, even with your phone up, what the courts and the police are saying is, hey, man, yeah, we see that, but you could have edited it, so it doesn't have any authentication. So I came up with an idea for an app.
Let me ask you a question first. I hate to cut you off, because I feel like you got a story, like you really hitting home with me. You know what I mean? I got into a little trouble. One little scrape turned me into 1,095 days. You know what I mean? So just right there, let me ask you, what was the problem you was really trying to solve? What were the problems?
Sure, absolutely. So there's two major issues I wanted to address, which was systemic injustice and a lack of tools to protect vulnerable individuals during criminal encounters. So those two things, we know it's not secret anymore. There is a systemic injustice out here, and that could be socioeconomic, that could be racially motivated, so many different factors, and in some areas even gender, or whatever you choose to identify as. So those things needed to be addressed, okay, along with the lack of tools. How do we have oversight? How do we stop all of these systemic injustices from going on before they happen? Okay, not after the fact. Again, like I said, me working in post-conviction, that means when people get to me, you've already been locked up. You've already been convicted. The damage is done. So I said to myself, how do we avert that? How do we come up with a way to address these two problems?
Let me ask you a question. So what was the big wall that you hit? What was the obstacle, that you ran into where you said, look, man, this is where I'm stuck at. And, what was the big thing for you? Like, boom, oh man, I got to get over this hurdle. What was the big thing for you? What brought you to that?
So for me, it's the resistance, systemic resistance. And what I mean by that is we all have many talents. We all have many things that we can offer to the society. And for me, having the background that I had developed negatively presented a barrier for me for a lot of different things. Even getting into the ABA, that was difficult. There's still always that one raised eyebrow. So that would be a barrier on a personal side. When we're looking at on the side of individuals out here who are potentially at risk of having that happen to them, we got to look at, how to stop, that from happening to them as well. So as far as the barriers for the actual help app itself, there was at first there was technological barriers, and financial barriers. We had to figure out how, and where are we going to get this thing done. And so, but we were able to address that.
with more personal, what was the epiphany, that you gained? Like, share the moment with us when everything clicked, when you realized or discovered your change in perspective, and you kind of got a little clarity about what to do next. What
Mhm.
drove you to the brick wall? What was the actual brick wall like? Boom.
So
Or
again,
I'm sorry. What was the
yeah,
experience after? Because you just told us the brick wall. What was the experience after the brick wall?
right. So the experience, man. I've had multiple in times, and they're cumulative. So they all balled
Okay.
up into one when it finally exploded. On the personal side, one of the most earth-shattering moments is when I was in a prison in Delaware called Gander Hill, and
Okay.
my daughter, who was a baby, decided she wanted to wait to take her first steps, and she took her first steps in the prison trying to get to me behind the glass,
Mm,
and that
that
memory
glass was
stained me.
tough.
Whew,
Yeah.
it stained
Glass
me,
was
man.
tough.
It tore me up, tore me up. The loss of grandparents while I was incarcerated, all of these culminating factors. So I had to ask my question to myself: what is the legacy that I'm going to leave? Is everybody going to know me for being the guy who's out here running around doing God knows whatever and using God knows whatever drugs and doing whatever? Or am I going to leave a mark and not a stain? It's
Mm.
a big difference. I wanted to leave a mark
It's a
in the
big
world
difference.
and not a stain, you know? And
Right.
so, exactly. So, my
Mm.
pain became my power.
Right.
And that is for me where the light bulb clicked on.
Right.
God, or the Most High, or spiritual being, entrusted me with a lot of different gifts. My intelligence being one of them, and I had kept it throwing it to the side, throwing it to the side until finally the lights came on, and that was enough for me.
That was enough. What plan did you create to overcome the obstacles that you had just been through? If you don't mind,
So
can you just a little bit through them steps.
yeah, so absolutely. So I knew, again, on a spiritual tip, I said, well, I sure spent a lot of time in jail, and I don't have a boyfriend in there. So, so my thing was this. I said, there apparently is something that I am supposed to be doing linked to criminal justice and
Mm,
rehabilitation. Because
smart.
while I was in prison, I was always the guy that they leaned on to run the programs. I was always the guy that they came to say, hey, can you write a program? And I did that successfully. And I
Mm,
worked in the law library successfully for multiple years. So when I came to the conclusion that, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to do, Criminal Offenders Legal was born. It
mm,
was a dream that I had for many years. People automatically knew me when you would say the name Malachi, or my nickname, which was Mike G. People would say, oh, the dude that knows the legal work, or the guy that knows the law. And so that in turn helped me create Criminal Offenders Legal. Started it on my wife's aunt's dining room table with a $6 card and went on to make a six-figure plus company within its first year. And so that's pretty much what I what where I went at with it as far as everything that I came out of.
what conflicts did you find yourself facing when you did that? Any challenges? Any doubts? What kind of obstacles was in your way?
Okay, so and I leak this to you all the time on a personal tip. My biggest challenge was my actual asset. People hire me and hire our company because of my background and because of the tone of my skin, but on the same flip side of the coin, they doubt me because of my skin tone and because of where I came from.
Mm,
That is the hugest challenge. So it just required me to get better at my customer service, at perfecting my character even more so that people would feel secure. Because, let's be honest, how is there any faithful business relationship when the trust is inexistent? And so, that was one of the main challenges. Another one of the challenges was the prisons didn't want to acknowledge my professionalism. They barred me from seeing clients at first. They didn't want me talking to clients at first. Again, just riding off of the fact that, hey, this guy's an ex-offender, man. We don't know if he's for real or not. And I can say that here we are 5 years later, staying the course and showing that it is what it is.
awesome. What was your end result, and what measurable results have you achieved?
Whew. So the end result is I'm now a national company with offices here in Dover, Delaware, Tampa, Florida, and Houston,
Wow.
Texas.
Wow.
Working in all 50 states, well reputable, when attorneys hear my name now, the ones that are on the prosecution side shudder, and the ones that are on the defense side love to work with me. When I
Right.
first started, yeah, who's this guy, man? We don't work this dude, So that is the most rewarding part of the work that has been put in. As far as that recognition and people understanding that there is a actual chance for people who come from where I come from to get to where we are. And again, if I'm digressing back to the help app, none of this, so this platform, my life had to be what it had to be for me to be here to present today. I don't know, I probably would have been a chemist because that's what I was going to go to college for if I never got in trouble and never went down the road I went for. With the help app, we can keep people on their right paths by ensuring that they never get a wrongful conviction, ensuring that you never get sued and you're in debt for the remainder of your life because of somebody doing a fraudulent rear ending. You got the app on your phone.
Right.
So that's some of the things that I measure out as far as success, and more importantly, KC, is I have my family, man. When you come from where I come from, you strain relationships, you lose relationships. I've gotten all that returned to me, and so that is the biggest success and blessing.
Right. More of a personal, and then we're gonna ask you some more questions about the app.
Sure.
What transformation did you experience? How did this process change you? What personal, professional, emotional impact did it have on your life and your business?
All right, so transformation. Wow. So I was literally reformed in many different ways. Absolutely. So literally reformed. I think if people would have saw me 20 years ago, you'd turn around and went the other way. you know, oh, here he comes. Let's get away from this guy. But my character has been shaped. Each and every day is a total refinement of who I am spiritually, mentally, morally. And I ain't gonna say physically because I just ate 3 cheeseburgers. So so we leave that part to the side, right? So
You keep it all the way real today, huh?
real, you know what I mean? And it was, it was from the king, you know what I mean? So but hey man, again, you're talking to a guy who at one point I could be in a room and everything that came out of my mouth was either a lie or people believed it to be a lie just based on the way that I conducted myself at that portion of my life. Now it's the exact opposite. When I come through, people know that what I'm saying is truthful. Everything is genuine. And I strive each and every day to be a better person and to continue to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Integrity is everything.
That being said, man, I would love, because that's an awesome story, man. We're going to expound. We're going to do a couple more of these, man. We're going to expound on that because I know you got
I got some stories.
15 years and stories. I probably got 10 stories when me and you both was in jail together.
Right. Exactly.
That's a whole other talk, man. All right. Excuse me. So I'm gonna just read something that you had shared with me earlier, and then maybe you can expound on that for me. Now, you sent me the mission statement for your new help app, man. It sounds awesome. I want to read the mission statement to the people, and then you break it down for me, baby. You know how I say it. Break it down.
Break it down. I got you.
So you told me you help cautious citizens to stay protected during police encounters through next generation real-time legal AI guidance. Is that real?
That's real. So we've developed in conjunction with our development team, our engineers at our app developer. We have an app. This app is revolutionary because, again, literally, you can be a pedestrian, you can be walking down the street, it's in your hand, or if you're a truck driver and your license is everything, and you got this cop that wants to give you a ticket, or a cop wants to pull you over illegally and illegally detain you. With this app, what happens is once you initiate it, front camera comes on, back camera comes on. AI is deployed. The AI has already been trained with all of the legal information and knowledge for each jurisdiction across the United States. It is also trained to read the tone of the actual officer. So it's telling you remain calm, or this guy's hostile, and it's giving you case law.
Chill out.
Yes, it's telling you everything that you need right on your screen. And more critical than anything, 3 of your emergency contacts are contacted immediately. Hey, listen,
As soon as I
God
turn
knows.
the app on,
Soon as you turn the app, soon as you activate the
if I
app,
got
soon
to
as
do
you
something
stop,
special, like okay,
exactly,
they can
turn it
lock me
off.
up now. Contact that. You saying as
Yeah.
soon as I turn it on?
As soon as you turn it on and hit that red button, it's a hand on it. And as soon as you hit the red button, it's going to start doing everything. It's going to record video and audio to a secured encrypted server. So there can never be any question in any court of law as to whether or not you tampered with the video, or whether this was some sort of chopped up, edited video. This isn't a secured transcripted server. Same way that they take people to court and convict them off of police body cam footage or off of Facebook and Instagram stuff.
Yeah.
This is the level of encryption that we have with respect to the information. The other part is, like I said, so you're sitting there, you're fine, you have everything recorded. Now, let's say the cop says, oh man, you know what? You're recording it, smacks the phone out of your hand. So it doesn't stop there. Our LLM is trained to continue recording audio and video while the phone is out of your head. Wow. So this is first generation, next level technology that will stop and thwart any type of police, misconduct, or just in general, citizens are out here doing crazy stuff. You've got it now on camera, in a secured server. Now, the other part to this too is, and I'm not going to speak too much on it, but understand that in the very, very near future, we'll be moving over into quantum computing with this bad boy. So it's almost going to be.
What does that mean?
So quantum computing. So quantum computing is all of the rage, because quantum computing is faster, more accurate at reasoning than anything that we have. Real quick, computer lesson, and I'm not going to go too far, but the computers that we use right now are function on bits. That's why you have megabits, megabytes, etc. That's ones and O's, binary code. In quantum computing, you have a qubit, a quantum qubit. That means the ones and the O's can exist at the same time in the same place, and therefore they are creating things much faster. All right. And they are creating much more logical information when integrated with AI. So what I'm telling you is this app is already really the fire. It's fire right now. So by next generation, you're going to have a lawyer in your pocket. And I say that with boldness as an ABA member and a person who knows this system. So our app is revolutionary and coming up tomorrow on iOS and Google Play.
I don't want to take you back, right? Because you give me a lot, but it's 2024. We just got done watching Young Thug on trial every day, and they posted 1 million pictures, him, Instagram, this and that, and they used all that kind of footage. All right, is this going to be as solid as the stuff that the police took him to court with? Like,
absolutely. So Help Solution Systems, which is a company that we made to put help out here, has an advisory council. And our advisory council is composed of digital tech experts, attorneys in the field, etc. But again, going back, by sheer virtue of the fact that our server is, hosted by who is hosted by, it is authenticated in the court. It could never be questioned as to its authenticity, because, again, real quick legal lesson, all evidence has to go through something called a chain of custody. And so when this recording is going, it's only going from one place, from the app into the secured encrypted server, which is hosted by a very reputable source here. I'm not going to say who it is, reputable source in the United States, well, in the world. It's the largest in the world. And so, yeah, we got Young Thug style material.
You're doing big things, man. Let me ask you a question, because everybody know, man, I like money. That's just me. So you wanted something super heavy duty, sound like it's revolutionary. How can a person like me get down with the Help app and perhaps introduce this thing to the world? Like, would it be something in it for me? I mean, help my people out. We like to make money over here.
Sure. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna send you my Cash App. But no. So in all honesty, there are a number of different things. Our company has been fully incorporated as a four stock company, so we do have private placed stock.
So I can buy in.
Yeah, so you can buy in.
Wow.
And we've had a third party valuation our company. I'm not putting no numbers out there. Just know that we're doing good. So so you could, there's a number of ways. Now, I would say that, people that are, interested in being angel investors could definitely get in while it's on the ground floor. But more importantly, for the common person who might be a content creator, who may have a significant social media following, you can get an affiliate link. And then you're just making, sort of like a commission off of every download due to your promotion of the app itself. Right. So, that's some of the ways you could be a part of what's coming out, and don't miss the next Jeff Bezos thing. You know what I mean? That's how big this is. So.
Yo, this is crazy, man. This is
absolutely
crazy. So it's you got real stock in the company.
Real stock. We have 40 million shares right now.
40 million shares.
40 million shares, which are right now valued at $40 million. But that's the way things go. I mean, that price may probably be more around $49, $39 by the time we go live. And live is, tomorrow is beta. We go on beta version tomorrow on both stores. We go live at the top of the year. So you're talking about, a couple weeks.
Great.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what can we expect tomorrow? Like, first of all, you got any time tomorrow, man? Because this thing is saying it is. I'm gonna need to bring you back because nobody gonna believe me.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me just give you a glimpse. I've been talking about this briefly. I do have a pretty decent following on social media, but more importantly, like on TikTok is a lot more than I actually have on these platforms that we're broadcasting to. But I ran one video, not sponsored, not paid or anything, about the app, and that got 70,000.5 views like overnight. The most recent one is me talking about it, and that was like another 20,000. So we're looking at tomorrow being as an inaugural day. It's going to be an interesting day because I think that we're going to see probably tens of thousands downloads, in its infancy. I can speculate, and all of the data that we're looking at speculates that 100,000 subscribers within the first, month or so is probably pennies, kids, peons. It's going to be a lot bigger. So that's what we're looking at.
Listen, I hate to ask you this, but as a favor to me, could you, in your heart, give me a few subs to give out to the people? Like, you know what I mean? Because I would love, this is crazy.
Right.
They not gonna believe it. So I would love to share this thing you got with them.
Yeah. So certainly, you just let me know, and we definitely will send an invite out and give a free trial out, just so that people can go ahead and, try it out and see what it has to offer, play around on it. And another thing while I'm talking about it too, so there are going to be legal articles that are very relevant. So you're going to be, you don't just have an app that you're walking around with and you only use it once something happens. You actually have up-to-date legal articles about changes in the law regarding civil rights, travel, or whatever the case may be. You also have access to a resource list that is literally starting from the FBI Civil Rights Division when you call if you got a hate crime against you, all the way down to every state bar association, every federal bar association, legal support companies like Criminal Offenders Legal. You have all of these different resources right in that app.
What if I get pulled over tomorrow and they hit me in the head, man? Can I get some help? Like what? Because it sounds like I'm gonna have it all on tape. As soon as they pull me, you know what I mean?
Hey, you fire that app up. You got them. You got them. They can't. They can chop their body cam footage up. You know what I mean? You got to worry about it. I got the whole thing.
Or they say we lost it or we can't.
Yeah, I couldn't deploy it.
I couldn't deploy the camera. Wow. Look, man, just for a brief second, I don't want to cut you off. Anybody that's here now and you think like this is awesome, man, I got a free trial for you. All you got to do is put help in the comment, man. I would love to get you a copy of this app, a short trial subscription because my buddy said he gonna share the trials with us. That's awesome, man. That's awesome, man. You're really doing some good stuff for the people, man. I'm glad of that, man. That's awesome.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
That's
It's a
awesome.
blessing. It's a blessing, and each and every day makes me more humble. That's what we strive to do, is just to try to help, and see what we can do to make this place a better place.
Right. Now, look, man, I know a lot about you, but tell these people why you really qualified. I heard that you wrote a couple books or something like that.
Yeah. I used to write rhymes back in the day, but
in fact, bust a rhyme first.
Hey, man, you don't my microphone.
Real though, did you really write any books?
Sure, I did, man. So interestingly, I wrote 3 books. Now, the first 2 are on law. The first book that I actually wrote is called To Plea or Not to Plea, from the mind of an ex-offender, now a legal professional. And that book is really like a memoir. It tells you bits and pieces about all of my interactions with the criminal justice system and how I got myself out of each and every one of them using the law. And it goes into a couple of different things about how the mass incarceration took place back in 1994 with the crime bill. The whole body of it's in there. So it goes into a number of things, man, and it does really well. It's been selling really well. A lot of people get a lot of value out of it. But most importantly, it's a story of redemption, so that brothers and sisters that are in prison can read it and say, hey, man, this guy did it. I know I can go home and do it. So that's, one of the books. Now, my next book was more of a book to try to help people that couldn't afford full services through like this office or attorneys. And it's called Post Conviction, a basic guide to getting your case reviewed. And what I did was I went through and just looked at all of the briefs that I had done over the years, and looked at the relevant case laws and the way things have changed. And I put that into a book to say, hey, listen, if you're writing your own stuff, this is what can help you get the review you need. So, that book came out and it's doing pretty well. Both of them have been on the market for about 3 years now, and they're doing pretty good. And one of the books that I ghost wrote, and I wrote it under a pen name, it's called The Quantum Genie. So The Quantum Genie is by far probably the most earth-shaking work you're going to read on artificial intelligence and quantum computing. But I wrote one.
Yeah, qualified you to do this. I knew you was gonna let the secret out.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'm no stranger to this tech that we're using.
This tech. What made you decide to do law and artificial intelligence? Like, is that big right now or something?
No, it's because, again, on a higher level, God set my purpose, and he said, it's got to be somewhere in this legal thing. So whatever you're going to do is going to be attached to legal. So Me understanding technology and the way that the world is moving, the easiest way for us to give people protection and access to the law is through AI. Today we live in a give me now situation in this world now where everybody wants instantaneous stuff anyway. So you burn a lot of people out trying to teach them. If you say, hey, man, I can teach you, but you got to read this book. Or I can teach you, but you got to read this 25 pages. You know what I mean? They'll start saying things like, break it down. You know what I mean?
Famous words, right?
Right. So with this AI tech, you had a way to make sure that you had instantaneous access to information you would never otherwise have in a legal field. Absolutely.
If somebody want to get these books, these good books that you got, how do they come up on that?
Sure. So you can go to Amazon.com and just simply plug in either my name, Malachi DeBruce, or the titles of the books. They'll pop right up. They are in ebook format, and they are also in paperback. So for those that are old school and like to still read the actual paperback, but there's also an ebook format as well.
I got a few paperbacks here in my office, man. If anybody would like a signed copy, I'll get it to you, man. Put it in the comments. Give me a signed copy. And also, where's my free trial at to the app, man? So I'm going to tell you, man, I'm going to say, I don't know, the first 20 people, man, I love it. You know what I'm saying? That's part of my hustle. I give it away. You know what I mean?
Right. That's right.
How can people reach you directly? Like, if they want to reach out to you, you said you're in multiple cities doing this law thing. Like, how would they get in touch with you and your company?
Sure, absolutely. So Email is really simple. It's relatively simple. It's info@offenders with an SLAG.com. So it's offenderslag.com. That's the email. Or you can go to the website, which is really easy, criminal-offenders.com. There's all kinds of forms on there you can fill out, if you want to request for a consultation, that nature. All that information is readily available for you there. Phone number at the office, 302-526-2588.
Okay, awesome. They want to download the Help app tomorrow. What they got to do?
So you're going to go to helpapp.network, and you're going to see on the website, download. All right. And
Studio, can we put that in the on the screen, that link, that good link? Can you give us that link one more time, sir?
Sure. It's helpapp.network.
Help@network. And then what I got an Android, an iPhone. Would it take me where I gotta go?
Take you to where you gotta go. So it's a button on there that says download now. There you go. So you hit that download now button, it's gonna take you where you gotta go. So once you get over, you'll see the app, our signature hand symbol, or logo will be on the app. You'll see it right in the search bar, so that you'll know you're at the right place. Obviously there's a lot of things that are called help, but this particular one, you'll know it by the logo.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Any special shout outs, anybody, anything you want to say, man, while you on here?
Hey, man, the biggest shout out is to you, Mr. KC, man. Listen, man, 40 years plus. I'm telling on you. 40 years plus, man.
I'm only 40, though.
We still kicking it. We still kicking. And, also, man, and it's going to probably sound ironic, man, but I always do this when I'm on platforms, is I give thanks to a lot of the judges that sentenced me to prison, because in that you created me. You helped me take pain and make it power. And right. So I got to give thoughts there. I got to give thanks there. They didn't just throw me away. I was a habitual offender. So they could have threw me away a long time ago, and they didn't, by the grace of the Most High. And as always, I thank my lovely wife and my children and my mama.
Hey, Mom. I'll be by on Christmas, get them cookies. You throw that out there. Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Absolutely.
Man, appreciate your time, man. And I wish you nothing but success, man. It sounds like the greatest thing since sliced bread, bro. I'm gonna tell you. I don't know how you came up with this.
They told me I was a little bit smart when I was young, you know what I
mean? I'm glad that big head ain't just holding air in there, boy. You got something real in that joke, man. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Awesome, man. If y'all would like to connect with me, y'all know how to do it, man. Just reach out to me on the page, man. If y'all want to hear this brother give us a full testimonial, man, say, yo, bring him back. You know what I mean? Whatever you need, man. We like to provide for the people, man. Y'all want to get that change, eh? You know what to do. He already told you. If you missed anything, rewind it back. The key takeaways I want to tell you is we got some free trials going on. All you got to do is let me know we need a free trial. Also, if you need that good book, I got some signed copies. I'm going to have them. You're going to sign the copies for us, right, brother?
No, man, I got y'all, man.
Okay. I'm gonna put them out there, man. So whoever, if you saw this today, man, I got you, man. Thank you for being here. This is it, man. To plea or not to plea. That's one of them. Got some good ones.
Yes, sir.
Man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate your time, brother, man. I got to get out of here, man. I'm hungry.
Yeah. Take care, brother. Thank you for having me on, man. And hey, listen, man, I'll be back soon.
Okay, hold on a second. Look like we got a little message. Blessings to you. God had another purpose for you. I'm following your works. Good accomplishments to you both. Paris Johnson, what's up, man? I definitely appreciate that, because I know I've been a long way, man. And this brother right here, he's definitely been to the crossroads right here.
Never ever.
And I'm gonna say more than once. You know what I'm saying? Woo. Bless you, man. Blessings. Look, yes, man. Hey, Paris, I got a sub for you, man. I got a free subscription for you, man. Maybe a book too. Holler at me if you need it. Looking forward to talking to you again, sir. And stay up, man. With Channel love you, man.
All right, man. You too, man. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right.